These are three things that I see people get hung up on all the time, including myself, and they're all mental. They're just in our heads. My goal with this video is just to shift your frame of mind so that you can move past these hangups. Also, at the end, I'm going to give you 3 quick tips to reach your goals faster. The first big reason is people set poor expectations mentally about how good they need to be. So they will say things like, I'm bad at X, or I can't do Y, and automatically imply that they can't get better at it. So since they believe they can't get better at it, they stop thinking of it as an option. And so they don't actually get started. The way the school system's kind of set up, it makes us think that we should all be at the same developmental stage based on our age. So a lot of people fall in the trap of comparing themselves to other people their age, despite the fact that the other people just may have more practice at that skill. Based on that, they'll try something once, subconsciously expect to be good at it, and then see someone else their age who is way better than them, and automatically go, I'm bad at it, it's me. Here's an example. My wife is a high school softball coach. She has kids coming to the program at all different levels of development. She'll have one kid who has been playing softball for 8 years, outside of high school season, plays on a travel ball team the rest of the year, and knows exactly what they need to do. She'll also have kids who have never stepped onto a softball field. Even though they're the same age, from the outside, we know it would be unreasonable to expect them to both be just as good as each other. It's completely unreasonable to expect a kid who is brand new to be as good as a kid who's been playing their entire life all year round. Like, we both know that's unreasonable. But when you're in it, you don't think of it that way. Like, the kids still can get hung up on it and feel bad about it. I'm using this example because it's very easy to see how, like, in that scenario, of course it's absurd to get upset about it. Like, you have nowhere near the same amount of experience. But we still do the same thing in other areas of our life and never think to go, oh, well, maybe I just haven't practiced at this at all. For example, someone starting a blog. It would be absurd for them to have the biggest blog in the world within a month. But still, people don't go viral in the first week, and then they think they are bad at the thing, when it's not that you're inherently bad, you just need to practice more. I know that sounds so obvious to hear, but in our heads, we usually screw that up somewhere along the line. You just have to keep showing up and doing it. Spoiler alert, it doesn't take you as long as you think to get good at something, but we'll cover that later. The second thing that slows people down. A lot of times we look at activities and we say it is a skill, when in reality it's not. It is an entire skill set. It is a bundle of skills. With entrepreneurship, no matter what way you're going about it, whether it's affiliate marketing or Amazon FBA or completely starting a brick and mortar business from scratch, a lot of times there are multiple skills you need to have before the first dollar comes in. Here's an example. Let's look at building sales funnels. A lot of people think of that as a skill. It's not. It's a skill set. Here's all of the things you have to go through. You need to be able to create multiple offers, your core offer and your upsells. You need to be able to choose the right funnel for your situation. You need to be able to write a good headline. You need to be able to write good sales copy or a video sales letter that shows people the benefits of your product and moves them to buy. You need to actually be able to put a sales funnel together that looks decent. You need to be able to write email follow-up to convert people who didn't buy the first time or to deliver digital products. And you need to be able to direct people into your funnel. 7 skills. That's at the base level. So here's what happens to most people. Most people start a business in whatever opportunity vehicle. Could be affiliate marketing, could be Amazon merch, could be retail arbitrage, whatever it is. They start in this vehicle. They're going along. They don't see the results they want. They keep pushing. Eventually, somewhere in the valley of despair, they quit. And they say, this opportunity vehicle doesn't work. So then they go find a new one. They get in this opportunity vehicle. They're working through it, they're working through it, they're working through it. Not getting results, start slowing down. Get to the valley of despair. Same thing. Quit. This opportunity vehicle doesn't work. Even though thousands of people are having success with it, they say the opportunity vehicle doesn't work. So then they do this over and over and over and over again until suddenly, somewhere between business opportunity 5 and business opportunity 30, it clicks. So they assume this opportunity vehicle was the one that works. That is not why they're successful. What happens is in all of these other ones they try, they build little skills. And they build it a little bit, and maybe they need the same skill in 2 of them, so they build that one a little bit more. And every time you go into a new business opportunity, you're building your skills. And then finally, you have so many skills built up. You get in this one last opportunity vehicle, and all of these other skills come in, and they help you make that last one successful. So it's not that necessarily this opportunity vehicle was the best. It's just that at this point, you have tried so many different things. You've built up enough skills to have the skill set to be successful. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sounds like a lot of work. It's going to take you 7 million years to be able to do that. Well, that leads us into the last point. Real quick, before I tell you the last point, hop down, like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you can get updates every time new videos come out. So the last big reason people fail. Like I said, you have all these skills you need to build. So people assume it will take them too long. So then they just don't get started. Building all of these different skills sounds like a complete pain in the ass. And most people think it will take decades to do that because of one common rule. There was a golden rule of success that was popularized in the roughly mid to late 2000s. It's the 10,000 hour rule. Most people today hear that and interpret it as it takes 10,000 hours to get decent, to get good at something. That's not true. Originally, it's based on accurate research, and its original meaning was that it takes 10,000 hours to be in the top 1% of an extremely competitive niche like professional basketball. If you want to be Michael Jordan, it takes 10,000 hours of hard, dedicated work to get there. But like a giant game of telephone, kind of got twisted along the way. So Josh Kaufman heard the 10,000 hour rule, got really dejected, decided to look into it a little bit more. And he actually wrote a book on it called The First 20 Hours. I won't bore you with all of the details. If you want to check the book out, I'll put a link down in the description. But essentially what he discovered is to get decent, to get pretty good at something, it only takes about 20 hours. 20 hours of focused work. When you look at what we call the learning curve, you make huge improvements in a short amount of time in the very beginning of learning a new skill. But then as you get towards the top and you approach mastery, you approach that Michael Jordan level, it exponentially slows down and takes longer to see improvements. Let's look at Olympic athletes. In the 100-meter dash, these sprinters have been running their entire life. And then to win in the Olympics, they train 4 years to sprint for 10 seconds. And the difference between first and 10th can be less than half of a second. They trained 4 years to run for 10 seconds. That is the top of the learning curve. That is where the 10,000 hour rule comes into effect. The point is, it takes a lot less time to get good, to get proficient at something than you think it does. Okay, before I go, I want to give you 3 quick tips so you can reach your goals faster. The first is to use the 80-20 rule. So Richard Koch wrote a groundbreaking book called the 80-20 Principle, which expands upon research done by Vilfredo Pareto, who coined a term, the Pareto Principle. Essentially what it means is 80% of your outputs come from 20% of your inputs. In other words, 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. Now, the percentages can vary a little bit. It can be 90% of your results come from 1% of your actions. It could be 80% of your results come from 5% of your actions. The main point is you get a disproportionately large amount of results from a very small amount of actions. Think about every business that makes sales. 80% of their sales comes from 20% of their sales team, or 80% of their sales come from 20% of their products. One of the things Pareto found, 20% of the plants make 80% of the fruits. Even if you look at this YouTube channel, 20% of these videos get 80% of the views. So your key is to look around, look at whatever you're doing, and find the critical 20%, and then just focus on that. Put blinders on, just lock in on that 20%. Second tip to reach your goals faster, get 1% better every day. In his book, Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about the British national cycling team. In the early 2000s, they had a coach come in and completely turn their program around. When he came in, their team was so bad, some bike companies didn't want them to use their bikes because they were afraid if anyone saw them on their bikes, their company's reputation would suffer and sales would plummet. That's how bad they were. Do you understand how bad you have to be for a company to be like, no, please don't ride our bikes? They were that bad. So this new coach came in, he focused on one thing, getting 1% better every day. Yes, at first they did the basics that every other cycling team was doing, but then they started doing some odd things. Things like having every rider test different pillows and mattresses to find which one got them the best sleep. Having them test which massage gels helped their muscles recover the fastest. They even had a surgeon come in and teach the team how to wash their hands right so that they would get sick less. It all sounds crazy, but 5 years after they were one of the worst cycling teams in the world, they won 60% of the gold medals at the Olympics. Getting 1% better every day is extremely attainable. You may not even notice a 1% improvement from day to day. Now, we all know there are 365 days in a year. So most people do the quick math, 365 days, 1%, you'll be 365% better. Roughly 3.5 times better at the end of a year. Wrong. It compounds. So your 1% improvements are improving more and more as they compound across the year. If you get 1% better every single day for an entire year, you will be 37 times better at the end of the year than when you started. Not 3.5 times better, 37 times better. Just make 1% improvements every single day. This third tip is the most important. In school, we were taught, like, when you read something and you remember it and then you can put it down on a test, you learned it. That's not true. You cannot fully learn something until you put it into action. You have to try, fail, adjust, try again. That is the only way you can fully learn something. It doesn't matter how many courses you take. It doesn't matter how many of my videos you watch. If you don't take any action, none of it matters. You can't master it. You don't get any results. You can't even see your results to see where you need to improve. So you have to take action. Take the 80-20 rule, take getting 1% better, go take action on them and get better. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, like I said, hop down, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.